My name is Rasheed Belgrave, the candidate for Christchurch East Central, representing the Democratic Labour Party. Now, I appreciate that I may be new to the national stage, but the issues going on in the country right now are not new. Now, at the constituency level, the constituency is a mixed constituency between middle to upper class to down to working class persons. So issues in, let me say, Kingston, for example, may be different to Edie Village or Lord Road or Sheraton Park or Elizabeth Park. So it's just trying to collect the data, basically knowing the concerns of our constituents and then creating ideas how to help them. Now, on the ground level, the major issue right now is unemployment. You're painting the issue with a big brush and it's not going to go away. It's like an elephant in the room. Unemployment is a very serious issue throughout the whole constituency, and is about, at this point in time, empowering especially the youth, because we are at a point where most of our middle class is really an employed middle class, so to speak. There are not a lot of business. There are some, but our middle class is not full of a business middle class or self-employed middle class. So the things you have to look at is that when COVID came in, a lot of, especially young people, lost their jobs, hotels, construction sites, due to the country shutting down. So basically, from my point of view, I think is basically to encourage the youth to they have to endure but embark on self-employment, because that's, if you realize, after the multiple lockdowns, a lot of persons engaged in raising chickens, selling produce and vegetables, setting up their little snack trays next to the highways, all attempts just to make some extra income and make some money to live comfortably. Now, on the national level now, like you said, a lot of persons lost their job. But a pressing issue right now I would have to raise is basically the nursing issue. Whereas all the nurses want is their pay and their hazard pay, and the way they have been treated right now after being called heroes during the pandemic. During the pandemic, when there was no vaccine, they were asked to work and they came out and they worked. Even with the same issues that were going on pre-COVID, they still enjoyed and they performed to the higher expectations they are believed to perform at. However, now that they have performed and now are looking for some remuneration for their services, basically, they can't get it. Why? Because you have a government who's basically saying to them, no, you can't demand what is yours because it is saying that you're affecting the safety of the country, which I disagree with. If the nurses go on a strike during a pandemic, obviously the water will have to reach boiling point to where they cannot take it anymore. The volcano has exploded. Now, the issue should be addressed, whereas give the nurses their hazard pay. That's all they're asking for, hazard pay and better conditions. And basically the issue with the extra Ghanaian nurses that were brought in as well, they are suffering the same plight as the local nurses. Shortages, delayed salaries, and now we heard we read in the paper that the government was docking the salaries of some nurses, and I'm sure Casual finally, a man who I respect, because he understands fully what it means to represent people. And when you're representing a person's interest, it may not be the popular stance, but you have to. And his stance is very correct in my view, in that he's representing a section of the society, especially civil service, that we call essential. Now, at one point in time, we were out through the window clapping for these nurses, cheering them on. We even created some glow-in-the-dark dollar coins were created for them. Even though those dollar coins may not have ended back in their pocket, it was created as a gesture of goodwill and support for the nurses. The nurses don't want glow-in-the-dark dollar coins. They would like their hazard pay, they would like their money, they would like improved conditions, and they would like everything under the sun that should be given to them. We are there bent over backwards to save this country during a pandemic that he have been non-existent. This is not me talking, this is the constituents relaying their frustration about not having adequate representation in the constituency. Now, as a person that has been in the constituency for many years, I grew up in Lord Road. I went to Rose's Nursery School in Lord Road B. I attended the Christchurch Boys School, obviously known as the Milton Lynch Primary School now. So in the area, it is not anything new to me, the plight of my fellow constituents. It is about empowering them, helping them to chart a path to self-employment and self-empowerment. And I believe together as a team we can do that, because this is just not a constituency of many communities. This is one strong, firm block of persons trying to make a living and earn a good wages. They just want to be comfortable. Not everybody want to be rich and move into a big house and drive a big Mercedes. Some may lust for that kind of vanity. But in a constituency such as mine, we can be comfortable with the bare minimum. So it's just to provide a platform for them to propel up, so we can engage in some serious self-employment.